Judge.
It says on mute.
You sees me again, something?
Yeah, but the speaker's on. Should be able to hear you.
Hello?
Everyone can hear you. Maybe just wait until I can the case.
Oh, okay, I was worried. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know this. I'm new at this.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get started in just a few minutes. We are live on YouTube already. A couple admonitions. If you're not speaking, please keep your phone, tablet, computer on mute. We don't need to hear you taking your morning slurps of your big gulp. We don't need to hear you chastising your child. We definitely don't need to hear you and your significant other arguing with each other. So just try to remember that you're live and it's being recorded on YouTube, and this is a court of law, as informal as it feels. And so let's try to maintain that decorum, and we'll get through this process just as quickly as possible. Again, we'll get started in about 2 or 3 more minutes. We give some of our stragglers an opportunity to get in so that I only have to say things one time. Thank you very much. Okay, the time is 8:36. We're going to get started. If you're required to be here today, you've been charged, and sorry, my name's George P. Morrill. I'm the B County Judge. If you're required to be here today, I'm sorry, and is Mr. Raven, are you ready?
Yes, I'm here. Yes. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Talk again for me, Mr. Raven.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Thank you, sir. We ready?
Yes.
Okay. If you're required to be here today, you've been charged with either a Class A or Class B misdemeanor. This means that the range of punishment I can impose on you if you are found guilty or if you plead guilty or no contest is a year in jail, a fine of up to $4,000, court costs, and/or probation with a wide range of conditions and terms. So don't take these charges lightly. You do have certain rights. Waiving any of these rights must be done freely and voluntarily. You have the right to plead not guilty and demand a trial by jury. That means that the prosecutor will be required to prove every element of the crime filed against you, and a jury will need to be convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that you committed the crime alleged. You can also waive your right to trial by jury and have your case heard before me alone. You may also plead guilty, where you will admit that you committed the crime alleged, and that would allow me to find you guilty without a trial. You may also plead nolo contendere, or no contest, which means you are neither confirming nor denying you committed the crime, but it will have the same effect of a guilty plea, and it will allow me to find you committed the crime without the necessity of a trial. You must enter a plea. If you do not enter a plea, I'll enter a not guilty plea for you and we'll proceed to trial. You have the right to not incriminate yourself, which means you will not be required to speak to the county attorney or law enforcement. You will also not be required to testify on your own behalf. You have the right to hire an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, I may appoint one to you after making a determination that you cannot, in fact, afford one. This does not mean the attorney is necessarily free to you. If you plead guilty or no contest, or if you are found guilty, I may impose on you the fees for the court-appointed attorney, and if so imposed, you'll be ordered to pay those fees along with any other court costs or fines. If you're appointed an attorney today, or if you need time to hire an attorney, your case may be reset, and you'll be ordered to appear in this courtroom at a later date. You also have the right to represent yourself. If you choose to proceed without an attorney, I'll give you an opportunity to visit with the county attorney, and you can discuss a possible plea bargain. Please understand that the county attorney does not represent you. We have great county attorneys, and I know they'll be reasonable, and I have no doubt that they will work with you. However, they do not represent you. If you would like to speak to one of our county attorneys, I'll give you an opportunity to have your case resolved today. For those of you who may qualify for pretrial supervision, I will review your case, and if approved, I will reset your case for up to a year. This year is your one shot at getting this case dismissed. You'll make agreements with Mr. Knight's office to be placed on community supervision in accordance to certain rules. You must follow each of those rules. If you fail to comply with those agreements, your case will be set on the docket, and we will move forward with adjudicating your guilt. All resets will be done through my office. If you cannot be in court on your scheduled date, you should file a motion for continuance with the county clerk's office 10 days before your scheduled hearing date. If you fail to appear at your court date and you haven't had a motion for continuance signed before you decided not to show up to your court date, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. If you hire an attorney after today, please make sure they're familiar with these rules, because ultimately it is you that we will be held responsible. If you're arrested because you failed to show up to a court, the terms of your bond will be considered at the next available court date. Please don't contact my office or the county clerk's office or the county attorney's office, and don't have your family come and contact us either. The best bet to avoid this unfortunate circumstance is to do exactly what y'all are all doing this morning, which is showing up for court. So I thank you for that. That concludes my opening comments. We've had a few late stragglers. For those of you who were admitted and logged on after I had begun, this is live on YouTube. Once we go through the docket, you could go review that if you want, if you have any other questions. I'm going to call the morning docket at this point in time. Give me just 1 second. I want to make a note on one case. 2, 6. Okay, at this point in time, when you hear your name, please respond by saying here, and we'll move on down the road. I'll ask questions if necessary. Stephanie Cardenas. Cardenas.
Your Honor, I believe I saw her on the, no, I misspoke. I thought I saw her on the, listed on the Zoom.
Okay, well, maybe she's running a few minutes late. It looks like she's pro se. So I will recall her at the end of the regular docket call. She's case number 2 as well. She's case number 3 as well. She's case number 4 as well. Was this an effort to resolve her today?
It is, Your Honor, as best we can. However, I do note, it really is. I do note that she has a couple magistrate causes this afternoon.
So maybe
Do our best.
she does. Okay. Okay, thank you. Cassandra Silva.
I'm here, Your Honor.
I need to see you, ma'am. There you go. Yes, ma'am. Do you have an attorney?
I filled out paperwork to get one on the 22nd, I believe, and I have not heard from anybody.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you in just a few minutes when we're done with the docket. Okay, it's Miss Silva or Miss Hawkins?
Hawkins,
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
thank you.
Ira and Garza.
Here. Present.
I
I'm
see you,
here.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So y'all understand, I'm looking at a screen of like 20 of y'all, so I got to kind of run around. Maybe you can wave when you see me. Thank you, Miss Garza. Is your attorney present this morning?
No, no, sir.
Do you know if he's going to be appearing?
Excuse me?
I think we're representing her.
Okay. Markel is conferring.
Mhm.
Aaron Garcia. Mr. Connors.
Judge, just to clarify on both Ms. Garza's and the present case you just called Mr. Garcia, they both indicate a TRLA attorney by name, but not by designation. So I just wondered if we could get some clarification on that before I proceed.
I presume that Trala represents Ms. Garza. On my record show that Brian Watson was representing him. So I believe Ms. Yoon is correct. And with respect to case number 7, I do see that Joe Stevens is identified as the attorney of record. So I would presume as well that Trala is representing Ms. Garcia.
Okay, I get that. And so Aaron Garcia, and I didn't hear what Ariel's announcement on that, whether she was present or and expected or not.
No, I'm not sure if she's trying to log on, but she's not present yet.
Okay.
At this time, would you like to request a alias capias, Mr. Connors?
Your Honor, I guess I would query the defense lawyer whether there's been any contact before I make that gesture, Your Honor.
I'm not prepared to share about attorney-client privilege, but I would say that I would, if sometimes my clients aren't getting on, it would be nice to go through the call and see if she shows up.
Your Honor, subject to the call, we would have request alias capias warrant a $250 bond, cash bond, judgment nisi, please, Your Honor.
Granted, subject to the call. Joe Herrera.
Present with counsel.
Mark is conferring. Remigio Caballero.
Your Honor,
I see you, Mr. Caballero. Thank you.
That would be a plea this morning, Judge.
Okay. Sandra Tovar. Mr. Connors.
thank you, Judge. I request alias capias warrant, $500 cash bond, judgment nisi, subject to the call, please.
Granted, subject there too. And I see this is a PTS status. Do you know if she's had any contact with your office?
It's a violation hearing, Your Honor.
It's a violation hearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's why my heightened emphasis on that case, Your Honor.
Good, sir. Melissa Brasinio.
I'm here.
Present with counsel.
Markel is conferring. She's also case 20, 21, and 22. Albert Solis. Albert Solis. Mr. Connors.
Yes, Your Honor, would request an alias capias warrant, $250 cash bond, judgment nisi, subject to the call.
Granted, subject there too. Mr. Solis is also cases number 13 and number 14. Stephanie Cardenas.
Also number 1, 2, 3, and 4 on your docket, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Tyrell Sales.
Good morning, Judge. I believe there's a dismissal signed on this case.
Concur, Your Honor.
Dismissal was signed March 25th, 2021. Donna Garcia.
Present with counsel.
Where is Ms. Garcia? Oh, wait. Maybe
She's on my second page.
second page, yeah. Ms. Garcia, wave your hand. Ms. Garcia, I can't see you. Mark is conferring, Ms. Yoon. Laura Puga.
Judge, I ask that you recall. I haven't had contact with Ms. Puga.
Will do. Subject to the recall, Mr. Connors, do you have a request?
Yes, Your Honor. We'll request a $250 cash bond alias capias warrant.
Hello.
I think that's Ms. The previous lady.
Subject to the call.
Judge,
Thank you. Thank
he
you.
has number 38 as well, where there just be one cash bond.
That's correct.
Thank
To
you.
clarify.
Mira, ¿para qué decís?
Hi, Ms. Garcia. Thank you for joining us. You can go back onto mute now. Cyan Benavides.
Present with counsel. I also believe her case is being dismissed today.
I'm here.
Hi, Ms. Benavides.
Hello.
I have a dismissal in my packet for you. I'll get to it shortly.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Where is it? You want to find it real quick? Is it one that I've already?
No, they came in afterwards. If you look this through.
It's this one.
You got it.
Okay, on Cyan Benavides, that dismissal was signed March 29th of 2021. Ms. Benavides and Ms. Yoon, Ms. Benavides doesn't have any other cases on the docket this morning, does she?
No.
Ms. Benavides, you are excused. Congratulations. Your case has been dismissed. I'll give you back the balance of your morning and have a nice day.
Thank you. You have a nice day too.
Yes, ma'am. Rocky Kuykendall.
I'm representing him, but I will try giving him a call.
Thank you, Ms. Yoon. Mr. Connors, do you have a recommendation or a request, I mean?
Your Honor, on Mr. Kuykendall's case, I would ask that we would come back to that later in the docket unless the court prompts further.
I would, okay, that's fine. It'd be better if just, I mean, this is going to be difficult enough. It'd be better if you have a request, if you go ahead and make it now subject to the call so that we already have it so that it doesn't get missed. The court would prefer that.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, on Mr. Kuykendall's case, we'd request a $250 cash bond, alias capias warrant, judgment nisi.
Granted, subject to the call. Thank you, sir. Cristel Pena.
I'm here, Your Honor.
On behalf of Mr. Pena, we're both present.
Thank you, Mr. Flint. Shall I mark you as conferring?
Your Honor, the only thing we're waiting on to be ready for trial is the discovery from the county attorney's office. I will be happy to confer with Mr. Connors, but other than requesting the discovery, that's really all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Flint. Mr. Connors, how can we get Mr. Flint his discovery? Or
We will take action on that immediately. From our office, I'll check on it personally, Your Honor, and make sure that gets in the mail today.
Thank you so much, Mr. Connors. Mr. Flint, will y'all be ready to be set on the trial docket this summer? Do we know what date that is, Mr. Lloyd?
June 29th.
June 29th. No.
To receiving the discovery, Your Honor, I'll be ready, able, with bells on to go to trial.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Juan Garcia.
He's also my client. I don't see him, but we're giving him a call.
Great. Mr. Connors, do you have a request?
Do, Your Honor. With regards to Mr. Garcia, we will request a $250 cash bond, alias capias warrant, judgment nisi, subject to the call.
Thank you, sir. Granted, subject thereto. Ernest Beretta.
Present with counsel.
Yes, I'm here, sir.
I see you, Mr. Beretta. Thank you, Ms. Yoon. I will mark y'all as conferring.
Alrighty.
Anastasia Villarreal.
Yes, Judge. Ms. Villarreal's on. We have a PTD ready to move forward this morning. The paperwork's ready.
Thank you, Mr. Habash. Hi, Ms. Villarreal. That paperwork has been executed. I don't know if there's additional signatures that either you or your client, Mr. Habash, need to make, but as far as I'm concerned, if there's nothing further on this matter that needs the court's attention this morning, we can excuse Ms. Villarreal. The court has already taken action.
Thank you, Judge. May I inquire what time probation would like to see my client?
Right now is fine. She can come on in.
Thank you, Ms. Loon.
Yes, sir.
Got that. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Best of luck to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hilda Ramirez.
This is my client, Judge. I have had contact with her. I will call her and I ask that there not any action taken on this case. I will resolve it. I don't have any motions at this time.
Okay. Mr. Connors, do you have a request? You're on, yeah.
Yes, Judge. Yes, Your Honor, will, if subject to the call, Ms. Ramirez, an alias capias warrant, a $250 cash bond, judgment nisi.
Granted, subject thereto. Thank you. Anastasio Gomez.
He's my client. I actually think I try to have it so the dismissal paperwork was in before court, I think yesterday, because he actually is in the hospital. I think he was hit by a car.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Please send him our condolences. That's very unfortunate. Motion to dismiss was signed on March 29th, 2021. Thank you, Ms. Yoon. Raymond Hurtado.
Present with counsel.
Markel is conferring.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Hurtado. John Vela.
Right here, sir.
Hey, Mr. Vela.
Yes, Judge, I believe there's a dismissal on file for your consideration.
Yes, sir, Mr. Habash. Motion to dismiss was signed by the court on March 29th, 2021.
Your Honor, one additional administrative detail on that. There was a request for interlock device removal, which I understand has been on. I don't know if that was a subject to your the court's order yet or not.
Judge, I haven't filed the motion yet. I was trying to get clarification if I needed to file it with the magistrate judge, Mr. Suniga, or with the county attorney's office. I believe in the past we filed it with the magistrate judge that made it a part of his bond conditions. So I'm going to start there, and then if I'm not successful, I'll file one in the court.
Yes, sir. As soon as we get it, if you need it, we'll go ahead and get that signed. Thank you, Mr. Habash.
And usually it is the judge that puts it on there, so we've been having a little bit of issues with that.
Thank you.
Lori Garcia.
She's also my client. I've talked to her multiple times. I'm not quite sure where she is, but we're also giving her a call.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Yoon. Mr. Connors.
Yes, Your Honor. Request an alias capias warrant subject to the call and a $150 cash bond, judgment nisi.
Okay. Granted, subject to the call, but I have a Lori's iPhone. Let me ask her to start video. It's spelled the same way as Miss Garcia's name is spelled on my docket.
Oh, yeah,
Is that her?
I think so.
Where is she? I lost her. There you are. Miss Garcia? Miss Garcia? Lori Garcia? Okay, we'll figure that out in a minute. Brandon Bayou?
Judge, I believe there's a dismissal on this case as well.
Is it one that I've already signed?
Yes, on 325.
Motion to dismiss was signed on March 25th, 2021. I don't see it in my stack. Oh, it's already been turned in. Thank you, sir.
Judge, if I may, Hilda Ramirez is on. Her phone ID is just says iPhone. She has glasses on. Waving.
Oh, I see. Yes. Hi, Miss Ramirez.
I would just like to pass to announcement, Judge, please.
Okay. Does the state have any motions on Mr. Ramirez?
No, Judge.
Okay. When's our next?
2 months,
Yeah, sure. I'll do May.
May 4th.
Mr. Abash, May 4th.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. Ms. Ramirez, be excused, please.
She may. Thank you. Thank you for being here this morning, Mr. Ramirez.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Make a note real quick. Vincent Zamora.
Present, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Zamora. Is Mr.
Ted Bonilla here on his behalf as well, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Bonilla. How are you, sir?
Good morning. Doing well, Judge.
Wonderful. Shall I mark you as conferring?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Eric Scarberry.
Judge, there's a dismissal on file as well.
We signed that one already. We'll get to the bottom of it, Mr. Habash. I'll come back around. Make a note on my. Ricky Campos.
He's also my client and we're calling him.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Yoon. Mr. Connors, do you have a request?
Judge, we do. We would ask for a, subject to the call, of course, we would ask for a alias capias warrant and a $500 cash bond with judgment nisi.
Granted, subject there too. I've got somebody coming in. Donna Garcia, just in the nick of time too.
I think she was here earlier, but having computer troubles.
Okay.
Number 17 on the docket as well, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. I remember, I think. Here she, no, that's Lori. Where did Donna go? She's over here. Yeah. Every time I touch one of y'all's boxes, it moves to a different place on the screen. It's like a old computer game or virus or something. Okay, I'm just going to mark you as conferring, Miss Yoon, on this one. Laura Puga.
Judge, you already called and there's the county attorney asked for alias capias in the first cause only.
What number is it, Mr. Loya?
For 18, Your Honor.
Thank you.
18 and 38.
Okay. All right, maybe she'll show up in the next few minutes. Ezekiel Galindo.
Present with counsel.
I'll mark you as conferring. Joseph Wofford.
Here at on behalf of Mr. Wofford, Your Honor, we'd like to pass to announcement. We have a plea agreement worked out. However, we didn't get complete plea paperwork, so we have a few more documents to sign, as well as waiting on a prosecution refusal from the district attorney's office on a related felony.
Thank you, Mr. Dyes. Is Mr. Wofford here with us this morning?
He's not, Your Honor. In conferring with the county attorney's office, we didn't believe it to be necessary. I will alert him of the next setting, and perhaps we can squeeze it in prior to the next docket with the court's approval.
Okay, usually the court would prefer that the court makes a decision on whether or not somebody's excused from court.
Yes, Your Honor. I will remember that for moving forward.
Thank you, sir. Megan Ivara?
Judge, I'm counsel on that case. Long story short, I resigned from the firm I was at, and they've kicked me out of everything. And I wasn't sure if this was a case I was taking with me or not. So I'm trying to get a hold of her right now, but I can't. She's a student at A&M, and that's kind of the story.
That is an unfortunate set of circumstances, Ms. McLean. We'll give you some time this morning, but subject to you not being able to locate Ms. Ivara and get her on the call this morning. Mr. Connors, do you have a recommendation or request?
Your Honor, just a clarification. I wasn't sure if the unfortunate circumstance was the current college attendance of the defendant, another extenuating. But Your Honor, if we could, I'd love to speak with Ms. McLean in a breakout room at the when opportune.
Not a problem at all, Mr. Connors. Gerald Vela.
Judge, I've spoken to him this morning. He was trying to log in. I guess he has not made it. I'll reach out to him again.
Right here? I think he's here, Mr. Bonilla. Mr. Vela?
Yes.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Oh, wrong Vela.
It's okay. Yeah, no, that's okay. Y'all are right next to each other too. Gerald Vela, he's present. Mr. Bonilla, you want to mark you as conferring or?
Well, on this one, I think this might be his first setting. I'll confer at a later date, but I don't think we'll resolve it today. So what's our next?
Do you have any pretrial motions?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Connors, do you have any pretrial motions?
No, Your Honor, we don't.
Okay. We can move forward to an announcement hearing. What did we just set? May 4th? May 4th, Mr. Bonilla?
All right, very, very well, Judge. And I'll continue to visit with Mr. Connors, and maybe we can resolve it on that date.
Oh, yes, sir, I understand. Mr. Gerald Vela, thank you for being here this morning. You are excused, sir.
Thank you.
We have an add-on, Ryan Connor. Mr. Connor here. Anybody see Mr. Connor? He's not in the courtroom, is he?
Your Honor, we had a sighting of him earlier, according to the county attorney's office.
Okay. Subject to us locating him, do you have a request, Mr. Connors?
Yes, Your Honor. We'll ask for an alias capias warrant subject to this call on a $250 cash bond judgment in EC.
Thank you, sir. That concludes all of the names that I have on my morning docket. Is there anybody on this call that didn't hear their name that thinks they should have heard their name? Okay, great. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do my final call at 9:30 for all the individuals that aren't here. That's an additional, it's an hour of extra time for them to have made it to the court. Zoom, and then we have a plea. Remigio Caballero, is all the paperwork ready?
It should be ready, Your Honor.
Your Honor, is that on Mr. Wolf's case?
I believe so, yes.
Your Honor, I wonder if I could talk with Jason for a moment before we take that up on your docket. I have something I needed to discuss with other counsel.
Okay. Let me set up a few breakout rooms and I will put y'all in first one. See how it goes.
Okay.
That's actually Ryan Connors right there.
Good. And before I leave, Judge, I see Mr. Connor, the other Mr. Connor appeared.
Present.
Thank you, Mr. Connor.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, are there any attorneys who need to speak to their clients or would like to go into a breakout room to speak with their clients while?
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Can I go in a breakout room with Miss Brittany Luna?
Yes, ma'am. Hold on. Signed you both to breakout room number 2. Is there anybody else who, I've got one more breakout room that's open and available at this point in time?
Your Honor, I have a question.
Who's speaking?
Ms. Garza, Ira Garza.
Yes, ma'am.
I heard that I had an attorney, so who is my attorney?
So you're represented by Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid. It is our indigent defense firm, so to speak. They have 2 attorneys that routinely practice in misdemeanor courts, but they have additional attorneys that sometimes assist and fill in. Hold on real quick. That was a little better. And one of them is Mr. Habash. He's here this morning, Jeremy Habash. The other attorney is Ariel Yoon. I don't know which one will be representing you now that Mr. Watson has left the entity.
It's going to be Miss Yoon, Judge.
Miss Yoon is going to be your attorney.
Okay. And will she be contacting me today, or we'll go to a separate break room to have a conference, communication or a conference?
Potentially, yes.
Judge, if I may, good morning. My name is Natalie Gannon. I'm a new TRLA attorney. I'll be practicing in this court, so you'll be seeing more of me in the coming weeks and months.
Hello.
Good morning. I apologize for the late introduction.
No, I'm glad you're here.
Ms. Garza, I
Yes,
have
ma'am.
been trying to get in touch with you. Do you have maybe some updated contact information so that we can get a hold of you?
Yes, ma'am.
We're live on YouTube. Would you prefer that I put y'all in a breakout room?
Yes,
That'd
sir.
be wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Hold on just 1 minute. Alcatel Insight. Assign y'all to breakout room number 3. There you go.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the court's going to go into recess for just about 3 to 5 minutes. If you need to use the restroom or grab a drink of water, now would be a good time to do it. But I will be coming back. We'll be back online at 10:58 a.m. Thank y'all very much. Hang tight.
Well, awesome.
Mr. Connor,
Yes, ma'am.
can you please mute your video?
Yes, ma'am.
A lot of that noise. Thank you.
My apologies.
You're not muted. Mr. Connor, you need to mute that phone.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Miss Yoon, Miss Brasinio is trying to call you, I think, I hope.
Judge, I believe you just spoke to Melissa Brazeno, and I just want to say that when Neil comes back, we have made an agreement already that she just has to make a payment for dismissal, and she's getting a check this week to make it this week. So I do think maybe she'll be able to leave because we've kind of resolved it.
That'd be great. Yeah, she's in some pain. I just wanted to go and see just how bad she is. But yeah, I think she's becoming a little bit more anxious. So we'll handle this as soon as Mr. Connors comes back, Miss Yoon, which should be in just a moment.
Your Honor, on those pretrial diversion conditions, was the dates filled in by chance?
What case is that?
Villarreal.
Anastasia.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, report in person to PTS March 30th, submit to random UA March 30th, complete 50 hours of community service beginning March 30th, it's minimum of 16 hours a month, pay a supervisory fee of $60 a month beginning April 1st, and pay a pretrial diversion fee on or before October 1st.
Perfect. Thank you. Because I received a copy of everybody's signature, just not the one that's filled out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Connors, are you back, right? There you are, sir. We have Miss Brasinio, Miss Yoon's client, case number 11, 20, 21, and 22. If we could go ahead and address her matters, she's needing to be excused. She's in some pain.
She just had surgery recently, Neil.
Okay. Let's see. Am I supposed to check my chat? I sent you a message on this one. Let's see.
Yes, I informed the judge of our agreement, and I also sent you the message reminding.
Okay, very good. Your Honor, I think that we have a resolution of these matters, and we would ask that that if we could complete this, I guess the appropriate thing to do would be to we'll prepare some paperwork for your office, but have this reset notionally for the 13th.
That'll work for us. We can put all these cases on the April 13th docket, but the court does recognize that well before that time, dismissal should be coming through.
Thank you, Judge.
On those 4 cases. Is that correct, Ms. Yoon?
Yes, it will resolve the 4 cases.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Briseño, you're excused. Please take care, rest up, and get healthy again, okay?
Sure, thank you.
Okay. Are we ready to proceed with Mr. Caballero, case number 9?
Yes, we are, Judge. And here's the update on that. Thanks for the time with Mr. Wolf. We did have some additional paperwork that came out, and just to inform the court, there is we received some correspondence from the Texas Department of Transportation that slightly affects or substantially affects our plea offer today. And while we still have that plea offer, I think what we're going to ask to do, since we have some paperwork that needs to be filled out, mindful of the information we received from the state, we're going to go forward, and we would ask the court if you could reset this to the 4th again for plea, but then we'll really be prepared to resolve it.
For the 14th?
We were going to ask for your May date, Your Honor. So we
May
could,
date?
I believe it was the 4th.
May 4th.
Yes, sir. And I checked Mr. Wolf. If he's back, he had indicated he's available on that date.
Mr. Wolf, is that your understanding as well and request?
Yes, Judge. May 4th will work for us, and we just need to deal with this updated issue and shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, great. Thank you all. This case has been reset for a plea hearing on May 4th, 2021. We'll get out the notice in due course. And Mr. Caballero, you are excused. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for being here this morning, sir.
Thank you, you too.
Mr. Wolf, do you have any other matters before the court?
That was my only case, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Wolf, you're excused as well, and you have a wonderful morning too. Thank you for your presence this morning.
Thank you, you too.
All right, so we'll hold on to that one. Okay, here she is. Miss McLean, are you here still?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss McLean, I'm going to put you into a room with Mr. Connors.
Perfect.
Hang tight.
My client should be on any minute. I just talked to her. I sent her the link, so she should be signing in very quickly.
Okay, well, y'all still get on the call. Let me find you. There you go. That should work. Y'all should be together now.
Thank you.
Are there any attorneys that need to speak to their clients at this point in time? Eric, I wonder which one you are.
Judge, may I address the court, please?
You may.
My client, Eric Scarberry, is on. He has some business to finish with the county attorney's office. I would just like to pass no motions today. And if he takes care of what he needs to take care of, a dismissal will be filed in the case and it will be done soon.
Certainly, Mr. Scarberry, thank you for being here this morning. You're excused. Best of luck to you. We'll reset this case for our May 4th docket, okay?
Okay.
But I anticipate receiving a motion to dismiss well before that time frame. Is that correct, Mr. Habash?
That's correct, Judge. May he be excused, please?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
Reset to May 4th.
Thank you.
You can get off, Eric, now. Thank you, man.
Oh, okay.
Eric Scarberry, number 35. About 6 minutes and we'll call, final call. Apologies. Hello?
That's why there's some good college basketball games last night.
Okay, thank you all for your patience. The time is 9:36 by my watch, which could be way off. I'm sorry, 9:36, 9:31. And I'm going to make the final call. Mr. Connors, you here? There you are.
Yes, sir.
Stephanie Cardenas.
Your Honor, we are requesting an alias capus warrant on Ms. Cardenas. A $750 cash bond judgment nisi, subject to the call.
Okay. Mr. Connor, she has warrants already. Do we want to issue another one?
If the court could remind me what those warrants or what your records show.
They're all 500.
How many are there? Ms. Cardenas has a warrant, an alias capus warrant on each case that's on the docket this morning, and each case the warrant is set at $500.
In that case, Your Honor, I won't clutter your paperwork.
Yeah, I don't know that an additional alias capus is going to do anything else. I'm going to go ahead and strike her off the docket for today.
We have those two magistrated cases, Your Honor, that are set for this afternoon, number 1 and 2, actually.
Maybe she'll show up then and we can address it. Thank you, Mr. Connors. Cassandra Hawkins.
She's present, Your Honor.
That's right. I don't know why I have her down as a recall. My apologies, Ms. Hawkins.
So Your Honor, that's set for a motion to revoke hearing today. And it's my understanding is that if she's just acquiring counsel, state would not object to a reset on this if that's in fact what they're seeking. But otherwise, we're ready to proceed today.
I believe Ms. Hawkins, where are you, ma'am? Just gotta find you.
I'm here.
Hey, Ms. Hawkins, I believe you represented to the court that you did fill out a affidavit of indigency recently.
I'm
Yes,
her.
Your Honor. Yes.
Yeah, I'm her counsel. I did speak to her in this time. And so I would like to talk to Neil about the case and see if there's a way that we can resolve it today. But obviously there's limited time. So if we can't do that, then maybe we will, maybe it will be best for us to reset.
Okay, at this time, Ms. Yoon, why don't I just, I've made a note to put you and Mr. Connors in a breakout room. Let's get through this final call, and then if there's anything that we can resolve quickly, we'll do that, and then I'll get you in the room. And Ms. Hawkins, you just hang tight, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. Aaron Garcia.
He is also on the PM docket.
Aaron Garcia is. Okay, Aaron Garcia is not here. I'm striking her off of the morning docket. Sandra Tovar. Sandra Tovar.
Judge, on her, I have not been successful on the address that I'm sending a notice to, because she hasn't been showing up for work.
Okay, we have a request for alias capias in the amount of $500. That'll be granted, and she's stricken off the docket. Albert Solis. Mr. Solis. Mr. Solis chosen not to attend. We have an alias capias request on case number 12 that will be granted. And Mr. Solis's cases number 12, 13, and 14 are struck off this morning's docket. Laura Puga.
Judge, there's already action taken on this case. 250 cash bond.
Right, this is just, I'm just doing a final call just in case she came on, Mr. Habash.
He hasn't. I've been watching, Judge, and trying to get in contact with her.
I appreciate that. She is, that alias capias request is going to be granted. She's stricken off the morning docket. Rocky Kuykendall. Mr. Kuykendall. We have an alias capias request in the amount of $250. That's granted. Mr. Kuykendall is stricken off the morning docket. Juan Garcia.
Present with counsel.
Excellent. Markel is conferring. We'll come back. And I noticed that we have a motion to suppress that's been filed on this case. Are we ready to proceed with that this morning? And how long do we think it will take?
Judge, I think that the motion to suppress the burden of production is initially on defense, but the burden of persuasion will be on the state. We're not prepared to proceed today. We are, and why not? It's the motion to suppress was filed a week ago, which we recognize is timely, but we'll have to get the appropriate parties here for testimony.
Are there any other motions that have been filed on this case, Ms. Yoon?
No, not on this case.
Okay, and Mr. Connors, do you have any other motions or requests with respect to this matter?
No, Judge, just responsive, not even responsive pleadings. We'll just be prepared to have a hearing on this at the court's opportune.
Yes, sir, not a problem at all. How's our docket looking, our second docket in April?
You can make them for that. It's good.
It's good. What's the date?
The second in April, the 27th.
That case will be reset to April 27th, 2021. This is a continuance of the pretrial hearing. If there's nothing further on this matter, Mr. Garcia, thank you for being here this morning. You are excused. Ernest, oh, no, I'm sorry. Getting ahead of myself. Lori Garcia.
She's present with counsel. It was just a sound. I was helping her with the sound.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, ma'am. Markel is conferring. We'll come back around to you in just a second. Ricky Campos. Mr. Campos. We have a request for alias capias judgment, so on and so forth, in the amount of $500. That'll be granted. Mr. Campos is stricken off the morning docket. Okay. With respect to case number 6 on the docket, Ira Ann Garza, Miss Yoon, I think, is this you?
Yes, so obviously she was represented a long time ago in these cases, and so we did not have correct contact information for her. I do believe that there may be warrants that the court has had on her that I would request be lifted. So then me and her can work and Neil work on her case to get it resolved for the next court date.
We will we'll reset the pretrial hearing to end of May 4th.
Yes, sir.
So May 4th, 2021. The court will recall those warrants. Subject to this, Miss Yoon, Miss Garza, you need to make sure that my office, Mr. Loya, who's standing behind me, that he has all of your appropriate contact information as well. So either Miss Yoon, you can get it to us, or Miss Garza, you can call, but please don't neglect to do that. I'm going to make a note on this docket that I've made that specific request.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything further? Mr. Connors, do you have any?
Judge, could you give us that date, the reset date again, please?
Sure, May 4th, 2021.
Thanks, Judge. Nothing further from us.
Great. Miss Garza, thank you for being present this morning. You may be excused.
Thank you and have a great day.
Same to you, ma'am. Joe Herrera, this is a violation hearing, is that right? Or motion to revoke?
Yeah, it's a violation hearing.
Are we ready to proceed on this morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
I would like to have one final conversation with Neil about it, but we have discussed it before today. And
okay. We'll come back to it. And Donna Garcia, this is an announcement.
Yes, I filed a motion for discovery in this case, and this is another case I would just like to have a final conversation with Mr. Connors about.
Okay, and I can mark that down here as well. But with respect to the court has, Ms. Yoon, a request for exculpatory and mitigating evidence motion. Is this the only motion that is pending before the court?
Yes.
Mr. Connors, do you have any response or objection to this request?
No objection, Your Honor.
Ms. Yoon, if you would supply the court with an order granting this request, the court will sign it.
Okay, thank you.
Do you need Ms. Garcia anymore this morning? You can still, of course, talk with Mr. Connors, but.
I would like to see if we can resolve it today. So I think maybe just a little bit longer and then we can have her off.
Absolutely. Thank you. We'll come back to it. Okay, we already talked about. No, we didn't. Ernest Beretta, we have, Ms. Yoon, we have a motion to suppress on file.
Yes.
Mr. Connors, Ms. Yoon, are we ready to proceed on that motion to suppress this morning? You're on mute. You're on mute.
Oh, sorry, Your Honor. Same announcement, which pertained to the last case, motion to suppress filed 7 days ago. We would request an opportunity to have any appropriate parties present for that hearing, should it occur on the next date.
Okay. Ms. Yoon, you don't have any objection to that, do you?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna reset that pretrial hearing for Ernest Beretta to May 4th of 2021. Got that, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Beretta, you're still here. I see you right there, sir. Thank you for being present this morning. If there's nothing further on this matter, Ms. Yoon or Mr. Connors?
No.
No, Judge.
Mr. Beretta, thank you. You are excused. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Yes, sir. Raymond Hurtado. Is this one you still need to do some stuff on, Ms. Yoon?
I think actually Mr. Connors and I have come to an agreement. And so he is planning on, I believe, stopping by their office today, and then it will be ready for dismissal.
Okay, great. How about we, can y'all pass to announcement and we'll set you for April 27th? Is that right?
13th.
April 13th. I'm sorry.
That
Is that
works.
Sounds great, Judge. 4:13.
Yes, 413. Thank you. Thank you both. Mr. Hurtado, thank you for being here this morning. There's nothing further that we need to do with your case, so you are excused. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Take care. Vincent Zamora. Mr. Bonilla, this is your case.
Yes, Judge. Mr. Connors and I have been, well, chatting, and I think we may have it resolved. Time served type of thing.
Okay.
I think they just need to confirm the amount of time he did spend in jail, and that's my understanding that it might be a time served if he has enough time.
That's good to go, Mr. Bonilla, and Your Honor. We could get the appropriate paperwork to counsel and client, and then maybe put this on the next docket.
Sure. When is our next docket? 413?
The 13th.
Mr. Bonilla, April 13th. You have a conflict for entry of plea?
Let me see. Just to double check, Your Honor, if I may. April 13th? No, that's very good. That's perfect.
Great. Okay, so we're going to reset this case for entry of plea on April 13th, 2021. Mr. Zamora, there you are, sir. Thank you for being here this morning. Are there any other matters that need to come before the court with respect to this case?
No, Your Honor.
Come on.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Zamora, you are excused. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have as well. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Mr. Bonilla, you have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
It's
You
good
too.
to-
Thank you, Judge.
Yes,
Get
sir.
you those papers, Mr. Bonilla.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Miss Yoon, did I accidentally skip over Lori Garcia, or did we discuss her just already?
No, we had sound issues, and this is another case I just have to have a final conversation with Neil about.
I will make that notation. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Excuse me. That case is stricken off the docket. Ezekiel Galindo.
Yes, and he's someone I filed a request for discovery in this case as well.
Yes, ma'am. The court has the request for exculpatory and mitigating evidence.
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection. That request will be granted, Ms. Yoon, and I'll enter an order upon your providing it to the court.
Thank you.
Is there anything further that needs to come before the court with respect to Mr. Galindo's case?
No, I just need to speak to Mr. Connors, and then we can decide whether we are ready to announce.
Oh, okay. Then I will retain it on the docket. We've dealt with that case. Megan Ivada.
Hi, Judge. She's present now. We got her on here. I talked to Mr. Connors, and I think we can get this case resolved, but I believe we're going to ask for it to be reset on the 13th, the April 13th docket.
How's our docket look on the 13th?
That's good. We can skip it.
Okay, Mr. Connors, is that your understanding as well? Sir?
It is, Judge, and that's not going to take much time on your docket. We think it'll be resolved actually prior to that, but that's our fallback.
Okay. Then this case will be reset. We'll continue the pretrial hearing for April 13th, 2021. Ms. McLean, best of luck to you. And hopefully we'll get to see you again down here, but if not, best of luck to you in the future. And Ms. Ivada, thank you for checking in. I know you're somewhere, or you were somewhere earlier.
Yes,
so,
sir.
oh, there you are.
Hi.
So this is it. We're gonna your case will be reset for the 13th, and we understand you're in school, so do well, do good things, and go make us all proud. And you are excused.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. McLean, you are excused as well.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Connor. Now you're on mute. Let's get you unmuted.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, Mr. Connor. Do you have a lawyer, Mr. Connor?
I do not.
Okay. This is, I show this as a status hearing, Mr. Connors. This is going to be a little bit difficult. Mr. Connors, do you have any insight for the court on this matter?
Your Honor, no, just that it looks like that maybe we can speak with Mr. Connor towards the end of the docket and organization on this.
Mr. Connor, Ryan Connor, please hang tight. I'm going to put you back on mute. We'll come back to you in just a few minutes, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. See if I can make that work. There we go. Okay, Miss Yoon and Mr. Connors, are y'all ready to chat?
We are, Judge.
Okay, great. Let me see if I can figure this out for you both. All right, y'all should be in the same place now.
There's a lot of different people in different different
All right.
Okay. Mr. Connors, Miss Yoon, y'all are back. You want me to just run through the cases that I have breakout notices on, and y'all can tell me where we're at with each of them? Does that work?
Great,
for y'all?
Judge. Thanks. That's helpful.
Okay. We'll start with number 5 on the docket, Cassandra Hawkins. We have a pending motion to revoke. You ready to proceed on that?
So I need a moment. If you could call that one in a second. I'm communicating with the probation officer on that as we speak, Your Honor.
Okay.
As far as I know, Judge, and then this is up to you, but I think one of them we're actually ready to resolve now. And then I know I need to talk to my clients to see if they're ready to accept the conditions or the agreements. So, and the one that we're ready on is Lori Garcia. And it's just we're prepared to dismiss the case. And I believe the paperwork is going there.
Okay. What case number is that? I got her. So Lori Garcia, the announcement is there'll be a motion to dismiss shortly in front of me.
That's correct, Your Honor. Paperwork on the way.
Okay. Ms. Garcia. Where are you? I know she's here. Oh, there you are. Congratulations. Need to give your lawyer a big virtual high five. Your case has been dismissed or will be dismissed shortly, and you're excused. You can have the balance of your morning back, okay? You're on mute, but I knew what you were saying. Take care. Thank you, ma'am.
And I think we also may be ready to resolve Joe Herrera. Neil?
Yes, we are.
Okay, then this is case number 8. Joe Herrera, what do y'all have for me on this one?
Judge, in this case, what we would the defense has proposed some additional conditions of probation. In this case, they would like to have their mental health peer supervisor, Red Gilbert, afford some services to them. And I know that those are not really administered by probation, but we would like to include that within that there be a consultation with the Trala mental health peer support supervisor or provider, Red Gilbert, in their office here in Beeville. And then with that in mind, we understand that there's some recent personal setback for this defendant. We'd like to continue this case or continue the violation hearing and put it out a month or two. Doesn't have to be May 4th, or it could be the following date, for Your Honor. And we can see where we stand at that point.
Ms. Yoon?
Yes, that's the agreement. So we just want to provide him with more support services due to recent personal events that have been going on in his life. And then we're hoping that we can check back in May and have him on the right track again to complete all of the terms perfectly for hopefully September. He'll be off.
Excellent. Good, Mr. Herrera. I hope you can do that. I wish you the best of luck. Mr. Loya, what's our second May date?
May 18th.
I'm going to reset this. I'm going to set this case on the, did you say May 18th?
Yes.
I had so much trouble, I forgot the date. I'm going to set this case back on the docket for May 18th of 2021. And hopefully y'all will have good news for me. Mr. Herrera, I wish you the best, and I'll give you back the balance of your morning. You're excused, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay.
How do I hang up here?
What about Donna Garcia? Ms. Yoon?
I need to meet with her. I have to go in a breakout room with her and Ezekiel. I think those are the only people left that I need to.
Okay, hold on real quick. Break out with client. And then on back to Cassandra Hawkins, y'all are what was it, Mr. Connors? You needed to look at something on that one. Case number 5 on the docket.
Judge, I've had a chance to get the information I needed to on this. We are prepared to proceed on this case if defense counsel is today.
Okay. And we'll still do a couple more breakouts to try to resolve everybody else that's been hanging around. But are you ready to proceed, Ms. Yoon?
Yes, I'm not sure how they want to proceed now that there's more information, but I'm willing to hear it.
Okay. I'll just come back to this. This will be one we'll just mark it at the end. Okay, so Ms. Yoon, would you like me to put you in a breakout room with Ms. Garcia at this time?
Yes, please.
Okay, hang tight. Okay, y'all should both have notices to go there. Mr. Connors, while Ms. Yoon is in a breakout room, would you like me, are you ready for me to put you into a breakout room with Mr. Connor?
Yes, Judge, I think you may have inadvertently, it looks like you invited me to join room 2. I just wanted to check that, but I could definitely talk to Mr. Connor.
Yeah, I just moved you around, and so I'm going to, I'll put you in room number 3 now, and I'll put Mr. Connor in room number 3 as well. Well, wait a second. Oh, he logged out, but he's back in. Okay, so I'm going to put you in room 3. So when I send you there, you can go ahead and get online.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I would also like to talk to Mr. Connors if available.
Oh, Mr. Connors?
Mhm. Neil.
Okay. Neil, I'll put you on the list of people to talk to, Mr. Connors. Ms. Ganem, I'm just moving you to room 2, but you don't need to get in there. I'm not the most
Not a problem.
technically advanced. I don't know what happened, but in the course of the last year, I've become a relic. So, Mr. Connors and Mr. Connor, if y'all would both go to the breakout room.
Yes, sir, on my way.
Thank you, sir. Now, Ms. Ganem, you are the, I shouldn't make presumptions. Have we communicated by email, or at least have you communicated with me by email? Are you the head of the TRLA in a different region?
We have not actually. I am a new attorney at TRLA. I'm not the new chief. The new chief is named Nicole, so I anticipate that there will be some confusion between the two of us. So I've been bracing myself for the impact ever since I heard of the news. So I imagine you'll be seeing, I'm sure that you'll be meeting with Nicole separately, but I think principally you'll be seeing more of me in this court.
Excellent. Well, welcome. Are you here in Beeville, or are you somewhere else?
Soon to be. I am in California here enjoying the West Coast and moving. I should be there by May, I believe.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
And I hope you don't mind. I mean, I don't need to ask any questions of you. We are on YouTube Live, but when did you graduate?
I graduated in May of last year.
Okay, and do you mind me asking where you went to law school?
I went to Northeastern in Boston.
Oh, okay. Wow, I figured you were going to say USC or Pepperdine or something like that, but
No. Yeah, I'm from California originally, and then moved to the East Coast for law school, and now I'm just splitting the baby and moving to Texas. So
perfect. Welcome to the middle of the country. I think you're going to like it a lot.
Thank you. That's what I hear.
Do you like the outdoors? Hopefully not hiking up mountains. We don't have much of those where you're moving.
Well, I think after the Bay Area, I could use a break from some hills. So any flat land would be appreciated.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to drive over here.
Yeah.
Well, good. That's great. And how are things for the Bay Area with COVID right now? Is it still pretty tight as far as lockdown goes, or?
Yeah, I think there are definitely some measures in place, and so it's pretty tight. But I think with the vaccine rollout, everybody is sort of clamoring to get a vaccine. So hopefully we'll all be able to close this chapter in a few months. Yeah.
Well, if you can get here before May, you can probably get the vaccine pretty easily here in Beeville.
That's what I've heard. I've heard there's some more supply than demand, perhaps. So
We are vaccinating the entire region happily. And we'd have to bring all your friends. We'll vaccinate everybody from California and from Massachusetts. So. Now, did you go to undergrad on the East Coast as well, or you just bounced over there for law school?
No, I just bounced over there for law school, for the snow and the great weather.
Yeah, that's right.
I stayed here for undergrad.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, but I took a sizable chunk of time in between, so it was certainly a shift to get back into the school groove.
Well, law school is unique in that it's not really comparable to undergrad.
Right.
If it is, you aren't doing it right.
Right.
Oh, wait.
It looks like Mr. Connors is back.
Hi, Judge.
Hey, Mr. Connors. Mr. Connor is still in the room.
I told him to get out of the room, Your Honor.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes.
Worst case scenario, he can hang up and come back.
Right.
Let me look through this docket. I don't. Yeah. Okay, good. And Mr. Habash has gotten off. So that's good. I think it's just Miss Yoon's cases that were still on the docket. Is that everybody else's understanding? There's no other lawyers. Oh, except for Mr. Connor, I guess, is unrepresented.
I have an announcement on that, Judge, if he rejoins us.
Yeah. I think I can move him. Well, maybe I can't. I've tried a couple times.
Let's see if I can. You want me to put me back in the room and I'll tell him to get out of the room, Your Honor?
Oh, wait, he's here.
There he is.
Hey, Mr. Connor. Oh, I'm trying to unmute. You'll have to unmute. So there you are.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. Do we have an announcement on Mr. Connor's case? Mr. Connor.
We do, Your Honor. We do, Judge. Mr. Connor is working now in George West. Had some surcharges. He's paid some penalty for this case in relation to some other previous cases. We think that in the interest of justice, that the case be dismissed, and we're sending paperwork to that effect to your office.
Okay, Mr. Connor, congratulations. Your case will be dismissed upon my receipt of the motion. I don't believe there's anything further that you need me or want me to address with this matter, but if there is, now would be the time to request it.
I'm good, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Connor. Mr. Connors, is there anything further on this matter at all?
No, Judge.
Great. Mr. Connor, Ryan Connor, you are excused. Thank you for being here this morning and your patience. You have a wonderful day and best of luck to you in the future, sir.
Thank you for your time, Judge. Y'all have a splendid day.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. Miss Yoon, this is your show.
I don't know if Donna's still in the breakout room.
Oh,
but
she is. Let me see if I can get her. No, why can't I do it with Ms. Garcia? I don't know what to do. Oh, you know what? Here, she'll come back in a second. 60 seconds. Looks like maybe she's having a difficult time with her internet as well. She made a note.
Yeah, so I mean, we basically are resolving the case in that she's gonna be making a payment. It might take, it's kind of a big payment for dismissal. So it might be something that we need some, I don't know, status hearings for her to make regular payments on it. But yeah, we're prepared to resolve it in that way.
Okay, and does she just have the one client number, or the one case number 37?
17.
Oh,
This is
17.
Yeah, this is for both cases.
Okay. Mr.
Number 17 and number 37, Your Honor.
Okay.
And, yeah, it's a joint deal or joint package to resolve both cases. And we just discussed the terms of that this morning. So if we need reset to the 4th, or if that's sufficient time a month from now to, because there is some monetary settlement involved, we would recommend that.
Will there be another document, or are we just going to set on status?
Your Honor, we would have paperwork to you if this agreement goes through. To resolve this case, we'd have paperwork to your office prior to that date.
Okay, we will reset both cases to the second May setting. Is that when is
May
it?
18th.
To May 18th, 2021. That's for case numbers 17 and 37. Is there anything further that needs to be brought before the court on either of these two cases?
No.
Not from the state judge.
Okay, thank you all for your time this morning. Ms. Garcia, I know you're here. I don't see you, and that's okay. But you'll need to come back, be available back again on May 18th, and otherwise you're excused and you can have the rest of the morning back. So thank you for being present this morning, ma'am, and you are excused. Okay. That takes us to Ezekiel Galindo. Did we ever discuss Mr. Galindo?
I just need to be in a breakout room with him quickly.
Okay, I'll do that right now.
Your Honor?
Yes.
I don't know if you wanted to handle the another matter on your docket before we lose the valuable Miss Yoon on the Cassandra Hawkins case.
Oh, sure. Are y'all ready to do something on that?
Yes, Judge. It appears that we have probation here today, and this is set for a violation hearing, an MTR hearing, if you will. Actually, this is not the first setting for this. We think that it would be appropriate to conduct this proceeding in person, and we understand that there will be some in-person proceedings coming up. And if the court affords us that additional time, then for not necessarily preparation, but at least for in-person proceedings, that would be our request.
Ms. Yoon, I presume there's no objection to that.
No objection.
Okay. So this will be a contested hearing. We did one on April 24th, one on May 18th, right, or May 4th?
May 4th.
Let's set this one for May 18th. The court will reset this hearing on Cassandra Silva, case number 25336 for, what's the date?
May 18th.
For May 18th, 2021. I understand there's a pending, is this a motion to revoke?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Is there a written motion on file at this time?
I believe there is, Judge. Let me see if
it's okay if, I mean, I just, if there's not, well, do we have one?
There was a warrant on file. I don't know if it's been served or not. I don't know if it's been returned.
I don't believe I've received any motions to revoke. I don't know if they've been e-filed or if they're in the county attorney's file, but I would say it would probably be instructive moving forward whether we're going to call it a violation hearing or a motion to revoke, that if there is any actual written pleadings, just make sure we get them. And we'll try to do better as well. Mr. Loya and I'll try to do better identifying those, but it would be good for us to have those documents before the hearing.
We'll ensure the court has appropriate pleadings, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Ms. Hawkins, you've been very patient. I see you down there. Well, I don't see you, but I know you're there. There you are. You've been very patient, and your case is going to be reset to May 18th. It'll be in person. I wish you the best of luck in the interim, and you're excused. You can have the rest of the day back. Thank you for being here this morning.
Your Honor, you have a great day.
Same to you, ma'am.
I will also just notify that we do have an MTR on file. It was served by our probation supervisor, but it has not been served by the sheriff's department. So she still has an active MTR, but because it's a misdemeanor, they're not serving them at this time. So maybe she could be served when we're in court.
Okay, well, I'll leave that up to the prosecutor's office and probation. I don't think service is anything that the court will ever be a part of.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for that clarification. So that leaves Mr. Galindo, and you need a breakout. Are there any other matters? I don't think so. I think we're all. Donna Garcia, we resolved her, right? Okay, she left. She just left her computer on. That's fine. Okay, Miss Yoon, I'm going to put you in a room number 4. Let's see if I can figure this out. Where's Ezekiel? There he is. And move to. There you go. I guess. So, Ms. Ganem, let me continue with my direct questioning of you.
Yes, sir.
What did you study in undergrad?
I studied art history.
Awesome.
Yeah, I graduated in 2012, so it's been a while, and I'm not sure if I were to be examined on any art history questions that I would be of much use.
Well, what a fun career path. Were you thinking art restoration or museum type work?
I don't think at that time I was really thinking a whole lot about my future. So it took the 5 years, I think, in between college and law school to really iron that out.
Did you work? I mean, if you don't mind, again, I'm just curious. What
Sure.
kind of work did you do in the interim?
So I worked for a few years as a respite care provider for a child with autism. And then for a few years after that, I was a reentry advisor and then an anger management counselor at San Quentin State Prison.
Very cool.
Yeah. So
Are you?
I think that last piece is sort of the more logical connection to where I am now.
I was going to say, are you Berkeley or San Fran or I don't know.
San Francisco.
Okay, so San Francisco proper.
Yeah.
What a great city.
Yeah, it's changed a lot since.
It seems crazy.
What's that?
It seems kind of crazy, the amount of development, and I think you'll have a really big issue, right, with the I don't know, the non-elite class, the people who actually work for a living, being able to afford living anywhere in San Francisco now, right?
Yeah, it's become really obscenely expensive, and even in the surrounding counties, it's just getting sort of more and more gentrified and an expanding areas. So it's very sad. A lot of people have been pushed out, and there's quite a serious homelessness crisis here.
Yes, it is. Now tell me, as a young law student, were you thinking criminal defense is what I want to do, or did you just sort of fall into this?
Yeah, I came into law school not entirely sure on what I knew I wanted to focus on criminal law, but I wasn't entirely sure where I wanted to focus that effort. And so law school sort of helped shape where I want to be today.
Cool. Did you, were you part of a journal or moot court, mock trial type stuff?
No, I was in a clinic, the prisoners' rights clinic, but not any extracurricular journals or anything like that. So.
Exciting. And I suppose you took did you take the February bar?
No, actually, I took the bar in the
November?
fall of last year. I took it in Massachusetts. So it's just been a lot of logistical, bureaucratic red tape, sort of trying to get that score transferred over here to Texas. So finally, all of those kinks have been ironed out. And so I'm excited to finally be licensed here.
We have reciprocity with Massachusetts?
So Texas has started administering the UBE in February of this year, but they were accepting transfer UBE scores as of last year, I believe. Then there were some additional wrinkles with COVID. Massachusetts administered the bar online, and so they couldn't technically call it a UBE, so transferring that score over became slightly more logistically complicated, but alas, here we are as a story with a happy ending.
Excellent. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
We gained Miss Yoon and we lost Mr. Connors.
How it goes.
There he is. Oh, it was fast. Okay. This is what case?
I think Ezekiel might still be in the breakout room also.
Oh no, he is. Let me see if I can try to force him to come to the main section. I must only be able to do that once every 10 or 15 minutes because it doesn't pop up for everybody.
Oh no.
Here he is. Okay, this is case number 39 on the docket. Ezekiel Galindo. Are we ready to proceed, or do we have any announcements with respect
Yes. Neil and I talked about his offer, and so basically Ezekiel is going to resolve it and make a payment to the county attorney's office, and then they will have the dismissal paperwork to you. I believe you should have it this week.
Excellent. Mr. Connors, is that your understanding as well?
Yes, it is, Judge. Sure is.
So we'll set this just on a teaser docket, the April 14th. I don't know what dates I've been spitting out, but I'm pretty sure everybody's going to show up on a different date. I already forgot again. April 13th. And that's why when we go back to in person, we won't have to worry about me keeping those straight because Mr. Loyal will have a much more prominent role. So for that date, we're going to reset this pretrial hearing, and we have full expectation that the court has full expectation they'll receive a motion to dismiss because we're pretty sure that Mr. Galindo is going to take this olive branch and not waste it. Mr. Galindo, thank you for your presence here this morning and your patience. Best of luck to you in the interim. We've reset your case, but hopefully, according, if everything works out the way your counsel and the state's counsel anticipates, then you won't have to appear again. So best of luck to you in the future as well, sir. And you are excused.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I think that resolves every case that's on the morning docket. Are there any cases that anybody believes have not been resolved yet? Excellent. Then we are going to be in recess until 1:30. So everybody enjoy a nice lunch.
Judge, off the record, I was wondering if you had any thoughts about the briefs or memos that Ariel and I submitted, and just curious, that's all.
Yes, I love it. I really, really like it. And I'm wondering if I should make them pre-hearing briefs rather than post-hearing briefs, but I don't know how y'all felt about it, and I've reviewed all of the materials. I'm still considering the matter, but I had hoped that I would have a response for y'all today, a decision for y'all today. But and again, I'm not going to hold you to it. But as far as that process went, was that okay? Was it unduly burdensome for either of y'all? I don't want to create more work, but I really did appreciate the written briefs by both of you.
It was great, Judge. I mean, it's great CLE, good, great training, as we always say. So.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think I'm fine with, especially, I guess it depends on for you personally, if you think it would be helpful for every suppression hearing, because if so, or if you think that there may be some that are very clear, because if you think it would always be, then I don't mind doing it beforehand, because it really just was the material I prepared for doing the suppression hearing. But also if, but I also think that maybe procedurally we would have to kind of figure it out, because I know part of it is being able to talk to the witnesses and them not know what I'm going to say exactly. And so whether that means I would first serve you with it and then provide Mr. Connors one, provide it to Mr. Connors immediately after the hearing, I'd be okay with that. But yeah, I think procedurally we just have to think about that.
And that's a great point. And then post-hearing is how it should be, if at all, if necessary. And if I'm being perfectly honest, you know, y'all both have long careers ahead of you, and you won't always be, you know, addressing a judge that's, you know, at my low level of competency, but you may also in the future be addressing a judge that isn't a lawyer. And so it might be a good habit to get into regardless. But yeah, we can, for our purposes, we can go ahead and just kind of play it, you know, by ear and see how it goes. But I have really enjoyed, I enjoyed reviewing both of y'all's post-hearing briefs. So I thank y'all for that. It's the most fun part about being on the bench, is actually getting to see y'all do what you went to law school for. I wish we had more opportunities for y'all to ply your trade in contested motions and hearings and trials at this level. I think it's very important for us. So
it's interesting putting the other hat on for me, Judge, for sure.
I was going to say, I think Natalie and I are prepared to bring a lot of things in front of you. So
awesome. Let's get it done.
Well, I don't think, Judge Morrill, I don't think you knew Natalie I don't think you've ever been introduced, have you?
We've had a good conversation while you've been in your breakout rooms. So
okay, yeah. So she's recently licensed and is going to be taking over for Jeremy. I don't know if that was as another new person. I realize now I'm starting to do the introduction. So
yeah, no, that. Thank you, Miss Yoon, and I'm excited to meet Miss Ganem in person. I think mid-May she's hoping to relocate down here, so it'll be fun. She's gonna hit Texas right at the best time of year to really get that full immediate Texas experience. So Miss Ganem, enjoy your days in California. If you're allowed to go outside, spend them outside, because you ain't gonna feel like that for a long time down here.
Oh, I've heard. I'll brace myself.
Judge, I don't know if you remember that old saying of Mark Twain. Natalie probably knows it, right? It's pretty famous in San Francisco. The one he said, "My coldest winter I ever spent was a summer in San Francisco." So she's getting ready for a big transition.
Yeah, it is going to be large. So anyway, we'll see y'all at 1:30. Thank you very much. We're in recess. Bye.
Thank you.